I'm Ruthie,
And I'm Yvonne.
and this is our story Beyond the Veil. We're both sisters, and we got married around the same year, and got pregnant the same year as well. So my sister came up with this thing. The blessing just keeps coming
In doubles.
in doubles. She said let the prayers keep getting deeper because this blessing, the enemy don't like this blessing that keeps coming in doubles. So basically,
And it wasn't planned, by the way.
yeah, it wasn't planned.
For those wondering and assuming.
So basically, our story is this: I got married in what 20.
Ruthie got married in 2021
Yes.
in January, and then fast forward, I think 5 months later, I got married in June of 2021.
Yeah.
We were supposed to get married the previous year. Once again, not
Even
as
different
planned.
years actually.
Yeah, Ruthie's was supposed to be in 2020, but because of the pandemic, we had to push it. And then mine was also supposed to be 2020, then we pushed it or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't planned because nonetheless, like nobody wants to actually plan 2 weddings in 1 year.
At
but
all.
it was because it worked for our timing and our situation.
Yeah.
Speaking of situation, so we're gonna just dive into our relationship before getting married. So I've been in a long-term relationship, and believe it or not, my husband was my prom date. And it was a lot for us, but we had fun, we had our times, our ups and downs or whatever. But eventually we figured it out, and for me, taking our time was like the most important. He was always the one that was like, babe, we have to take our time, like, because he took marriage very serious. I took marriage very serious as well, but for me, it was also about what? The glitz and glam, because every girl looks forward to their wedding day, right? And we look at like the dress that we're gonna wear, and I'm sure all of us in our notepad, we have somewhere like a list of like all of the vendors, and you know how you want it to look. We screenshot pictures of how our weddings are gonna be, whatever. So that was like, I was kind of like, how do you even say that? Like kind of glorifying that, where I couldn't wait for that day. And he was more so of like, how men are, they don't really care about those glitz and glam. He just really like, I want this marriage to be sustainable. I want it to last. I want us to have our finances in order. I want our families to like, be like come from a well-rounded foundation and so forth.
Remember the funny thing is that we didn't even like you think that guys don't care about that, but then they actually do. Like they care more. That's why it seems like whenever there's a wedding, since we're beyond the veil, so
Right.
whenever there's a wedding, it seems like the women care more about the dresses, the clothes, and all of that. And it seems like the men have no say, but sometimes men really do care, and they care about the more of the afterwards, what's gonna happen, because men have a lot of responsibilities on their shoulders, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I think in the beginning we're all like, yo, come on, bro, you gotta let's speed this up. It's been like what? How many years?
We're not gonna say because that's nobody's business. But we've been together, like I said. You could calculate yourself if you're good with my age. But yeah, we were prom dates. But I actually appreciate it more now. Like I told him, I said, babe, you are so right, because if we had gotten married earlier, we probably would have been divorced by now.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, see, I told you. That's what I was trying to get you to understand or whatever. So I do really appreciate the growth, the time, because it allowed us to like grow a lot, allowed us to learn more about ourselves and individually how to cope and how to actually be happy without each other. Like be able to, have your own happiness without depending on somebody else. And that's very essential. And I've been learning that as like I have entered marriage and also before that.
And I think growing up too, when you're younger, you get into a relationship, it's easier to wait. You understand? It makes more sense to wait. But like when you get a little older, it makes more sense because you're more mature. That's why nowadays you see a lot of like young people who are like 28, 29 getting married a little faster. And I don't think, sometimes I feel like some people do rush, but most important, I believe that now because they both have grown from different paths and different walks of life, And so when you see somebody who has been together for a really, really long time, as you consider, it's because they were young when they got together. So now that they're older, they have to make more mature decisions. They've been through a lot, and I believe that that's why the waiting seems so long. But it's not because it's long. It's because they have to, they have to mature. They have to understand certain things in life before actually taking that step. So I believe that it all works together very well.
Right. And then even like Ruthie was just saying about like the timing or whatever. I believe that when we're younger, we don't care about like when we're dating. Do you ever like when you were like probably like 21, you probably never asked your partner like, hey, what's your purpose in life, you know, or what's your financial goals, or you know, we never really spoke about things like that. Like it was more so of like having fun and like, oh yeah, let's meet up here, let's go on dates, and you know, just a lot of things that even when we ever spoke about that, it was more like a fantasy and it wasn't realistic, as in like, okay, now it's time to put in the work.
Reality.
Right.
And well, that kind of brings me to my story a little bit. So I met my husband in 2017, and we have a long distance relationship from the beginning. So which was kind of like, you know, different for me because I've never been in a long distance relationship before. And she just spoke about purpose, right? So when I met my husband, he just came in like purpose this, life this, and plans this, and I was like, you need to relax. I was like, you need to relax. Like I'm a baby.
I think also because your previous relationship didn't give you that wisdom enough to
because we're younger too.
Yeah, younger.
Like what you said earlier.
It's younger and also who you're dating. You know, certain times is who you're dating as well. So
yeah, and then basically we're younger, and then obviously everybody have different purpose and different goals in life. And so when I met my husband, he was all like, you know, purpose driven, goal driven. And I was like what she just said. So coming into that new age of like 28, 29, I'm just like, this man is speaking some things that I don't really understand. But that's why we also knew that we wanted to get married right away, because I met somebody who was matured and knew what he wanted out of life, and he knew exactly what he wanted to do. So it kind of like we didn't have to drag it for like many years to get to know each other, to understand certain things. Of course, you have to get to know each other. I believe that you have to have like you know some like what you like, what you don't like, and know if you and the person how do you call it?
Are compatible.
Are compatible, right? Yeah. So we found out we're compatible, and then fast forward 2019, we did I went to Ghana and he proposed to me, which maybe Beyond the Veil will show you like a little clip of our proposal. My sister had a private proposal, so an intimate proposal, which wasn't like recorded.
Interested enough, I actually wanted a really grand proposal, but when it actually happened privately, I said, thank you, Jesus. Nobody will ever know how this went down, and it was even more special.
And I wanted to know how it went down so bad, because we all been waiting for it to happen, you know. But I think it was just meant to be that way for them at that time. Like I said, God always plans things out perfectly. So after COVID, right after I got engaged, I came back, we were excited, my sister's ready, we about to plan a wedding. Then all of a sudden COVID hit, and we're like, I didn't go to Ghana for a whole year, I didn't see my husband for a whole year and a half actually. And then that same summer during COVID, when COVID started slowing down, my sister went to Jamaica and then she got engaged too. And I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And then we both started planning, because I was planning before. She's like, damn, like we didn't want to like plan at the same time, but we all wanted to also move forward with our lives. So we're like, yo, we're gonna make it work. And we have a very supportive family who was willing to travel to Ghana and also come here and back and do a wedding in like 6 months for my sister as well. Like less than 6 months, right?
Yeah,
like
5.
Like 4 months.
5? January and June, yeah.
Look at that. So everything just worked out so well and so perfect. God has just worked things out perfectly for us and for our family. So we had the 2 weddings. We went to Ghana in January. We went to Ghana for 10 days. Like,
well, some of us
she went
for 10 days. I went for
6 days.
I went for 6 days. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it had to be done.
It was chaotic
during COVID. Yeah, and can you imagine getting married and traveling during COVID? Oh my goodness, I was like the COVID police. I had told everybody
the most stressing me out. Oh my goodness, I used to call my friends like, but my sister stressing me out. I was like, babe, Nana said that you guys need to get a COVID test. Your whole family gotta get a COVID test. My husband was like, if we all gotta get a COVID test, let's wait for the wedding. I'm not even trying to do the wedding right now anymore, because
PCR at that.
Oh my goodness, because Ghana is not convenient to just go around to get COVID tests, you know.
Yeah. So
it was just like she was just doing the most. Make sure your mask is there. I went to
get
face shields and everything. Actually, she wore one. I'll show you a clip of her at the wedding.
Listen here, like this was before the vaccine and all of that, so we were super uncomfortable. Yeah. Me working in the health field, I was extra uncomfortable, whatever. But you know, when we got there, the fun wouldn't even allow us to even think about COVID. We had so much fun. The plan. I mean, when we got there, the planning, like from trying on dresses or whatever it was, bridesmaids, everybody was super supportive, and yeah, it was really fun.
I had
It
some
was
really
like
amazing people, like my family, my friends. Like I always say that there's nobody. I don't have no. There's nobody that have better friends and family than me. I'm sorry. Sorry. Because my family and my friends are so supportive. Like they made everything run so smooth, and by God's grace, we were done with that. Then we came back for the celebrity wedding.
into a time.
In
We
due
had so much
time.
fun planning. For me, planning for the wedding wasn't like too hard because I'm here. I can talk to the vendors. If I can even go see them or whatever. So like, do you wanna? I mean, nonetheless, there are challenges of planning a wedding
Yeah.
wherever you are, even if you're like next door to your vendors. Communication is key for everything. But we know that like maybe Ghana, or Africa in general, dealing with some vendors may be like a whole nother thing, and how were you able to do that and be able to trust them even with your money and
Yeah.
deadlines and stuff like that?
I think having someone in Ghana, for me, it was easier because my husband is amazing, okay? Like, he's so on point with everything. If you give him an assignment, he just does it, like, with ease, let me say that. So that made it easier to plan the wedding in Ghana. It wasn't stressful. Like, if I had an idea or I saw something online or I was interested in, like, a certain vendor, he would tell me, Sajua, let me talk to them. And sometimes as a woman, you don't want to give a man that responsibility because you feel like men, they don't really know much. Like,
When it comes to like
when it
all
comes
these
to those
glamorous
things,
stuff,
yeah.
right?
But my husband, like, if I tell him, like, babe, I want this exactly like this, he'd be like, Joa, just write it down exactly how you want it. And I ask them because most of the time I find myself asking vendors for, like, pricing, right? For quotes and invoices, and then they'll give me, like, a really high price with my American number. But if my husband asks them, it's like a whole different invoice and a whole different price. And I'm like, why do Ghanaians do this, But I get it. I know that when they see that you're in America, they say, okay, you trying to get the same vibe for something cheaper here in
Right.
Ghana. So we're gonna charge you a little bit like close to the price of somebody in
I'll probably
America.
do the same.
I'll probably do the same, but I would not because I'm a very sincere person. I feel like if you're good and you charge somebody, you're honest in your business, it takes you so much further in your business. Because guess what? If somebody else is planning a wedding in Ghana, and I know a couple of people that plan a wedding in Ghana, they always come to me and ask me, only because I've had a wedding in Ghana before, and they ask me for recommendations, and I give them people that I've trusted, vendors that are amazing, that were amazing and so honest with me that even when I ask them for a price, and somebody else go ask them for a price, sometimes I ask my sister, go ask them and let's see what they say to you. They'll give her a different price, or they'll give her the same price. My husband will ask to give my husband the same price. So that's when I realized that the difference between different vendors and stuff. I mean, people make mistakes, but some of them are really, really good. So you just end up giving them your money anyway. And with paying people and stuff, you just have to like I said, you give it to somebody who's in Ghana, and they give it to them. And sometimes you have to go to their shop, go see them, visit them, talk to them and stuff. Because my husband's like, when you give somebody money without me talking to them, I just don't ever do that again. So from there, I had to humble myself and calm down, be patient, and let him also, because he's part of the wedding too. So give him a chance to also put his input as well. And I think that's what made the process a lot easier. Just trusting your partner if he is in Ghana, because I mean, most people have weddings in Ghana because your partners are in Ghana. So if you have a destination wedding too and it's just you here with your partner here and you're just going to have a destination wedding in Ghana, make sure you get a good planner who's sincere. Because some planners too, they plan and they talk to the vendors with a different price and come give you a different price. So they tell the vendor that like, oh, it's 200 cities, and then they'll tell you the person that is 300. So they'll always get their cut, even though you're paying them as well. So talk to people, communicate with different people who had weddings in Ghana. Don't feel embarrassed or scared to reach out to people when you see them online. Because people are really nice, believe it or not. Even people that you think, oh, this person had a grand wedding, would they ever talk to me? They will communicate with you and then they'll help you out. So basically, planning a wedding in Ghana, you just have to have somebody talk to people, communicate, somebody who's supportive, a partner who's honest, and everything will be fine.
And FYI, just make sure you get a police escort, okay? Because Ghana traffic is no joke, and I'm sure it's like that probably in Lagos or wherever it is in Nigeria, wherever country it is that you're planning the wedding. Yeah, we had a nice police escort, and got us through traffic like this. So.
In the beginning, I was like, babe, don't get no police escort.
It was very necessary.
It's a waste of money. He's like, I'll pay everything myself. I was like, whatever, just do it. So when he did it, the day he did it, I was in the car like this. Like, it was hot. And we got to church so early that we waited for an hour for the church service to start, and we were
Right.
like, wow, we're really here very early. So shout out to my boo for the police escort. So
That's pretty much what we have to say for our experience with our weddings, and also how we ended up getting married at the same
the same year.
same year.